There it is, pre-tensioned. There it goes, perfect. Oh nope, it's gonna hang. Okay, so new scenario here. And it broke into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big pieces. 881, 500i, and 261. Not the saws, it's the operator. All right team, I'm headed out to Roy, Washington to go cut down some smaller dead trees on a homeowner's property. This is just a felling job. This is a no cleanup. Look at that mountain up there. That mountain that you're seeing is Mount Rainier. I'm just called out here to cut some of the dead trees down that are eventually gonna fall on his fences. They're not even gonna fall to hit the house. They're just some dead standing trees that need to be taken care of before they fall over on their own. Okay, so I got a handful of trees today. I came down here to cut down 3. He's got a couple more for me to do. I haven't seen them yet, so it's gonna be a surprise for me as well as you. But here's the first one. This alder's leaning out all the way over the fence. We're actually gonna keep that for now, but it's a codom. It's got this other piece coming off of it. Completely dead. Again, it's out leaning here towards the fence. He doesn't want this to just fall over and destroy the fence. So what I'm gonna do, I can use this lean and face cut it and put it out here. So we gotta be careful with the hinge though, because it's dry wood, it's dead. So we're gonna keep the hinge thick, and then I'll put a little rope in it and kind of pull it this way. It's only about 20 feet. So I'm gonna find a good spot on this tree. It's pretty dead down here, so that's not a great spot to cut, but it looks pretty good in this area right here. So I'll cut it here. I can't go backwards with it, but I can go sideways. So what I'll do is try to keep this on the left side of this fir right here. Alright, so now I'll cut it up a little bit and then pull it that way. I'm keeping the hinge nice and even all the way through. So that hinge is a little thicker than I would normally. I would usually go a little more, but because the wood's dead, I'm gonna keep it a little over 2 inches. That's probably 2.5 inches right there. And I'll give it a push. First I'll try pushing it, and then if it doesn't push, then I'll just put a rope in it and pull it over here. Yeah, it looks like I can push it. Nope. Come on. All right, we'll put a rope in it. I'll show you a little rope trick right here to get a rope kind of through some branches. Put a little bit of weight on the end of it. Do like this, do like that. Take your rope end. And when I throw this over a branch, it'll unwind and it'll be back on the ground for me. Or it'll just sit there. It'll make me a liar. Come on. I might have to do that one more time. Branch, slip. This is a really light rope. It's a 3-strand, but there you go. See how it unraveled? Now I'll attach it to the tree using a running bowline. There we go, it's on. I'm actually gonna pull this direction. That's how that works.
Cool. Works perfect.
Yeah. You can see there's decay in the center here, but again, thick hinge here, thin here. I wanted to come this way. On to the next one. Okay, so I got this dead standing fir right here, kind of trapped, surrounded by these other trees. The only hole for it to go through with a wedge would be out here, but that's the neighbor's property. We can't do that. So I'm gonna pull it through these tree limbs above, through this gap in here, along this path that we just walked on. Throw it up over any of those limbs. That's a quarter of the way up, which is plenty. And then I'll put the 3-strand rope in it, and then I'll winch the whole tree over, force it through those limbs. I normally use the big shot, the slingshot for this, but I'm gonna try just kind of launching it by hand for now and see how many attempts this takes. Maybe I'll get it the first try. Probably not. Nope. There's one. That wasn't bad for my first try though. I went to the same spot. I need to go a little more to the left. Oh, that was close. I think that might actually work. I'm gonna see if I can maneuver the rope and get it around the back side of the tree. I'm gonna give it a shot. I think I can do it. People have been saying they want longer videos, so I'm trying to give them what they're asking for. Let's see if I can make this happen. That actually could work. That's gonna work. So I would like to get this rope a little further back. There it goes, perfect. That's probably gonna be fine. Let's just do the running bowling. You can see how wobbly that tree is. You can see how the line now cinches up to the tree. I'm gonna take this down the path now, hook up the winch, and then we'll get ready to pull it. Here's the rope come along. You can actually buy this off Amazon, maybe 70 or 80 bucks. And you'll just have to buy the rope. I think you can buy this rope and this come along. You'll still need a sling or some way to attach it to a tree, but under 150 bucks you could probably figure it out. Maybe 200. There it is, pre-tensioned. I can start putting, I'm starting to tension that line up now. But I'm gonna cut the tree first and I'm gonna let it sit in these limbs and then I'll winch it through. So let's get started with that. And the whole tree's dead. The top is really wobbly. And I'm gonna get it to come through this direction, through these limbs, down this path. Pretty good. Just to the left of this huge fir right here. I shouldn't call that a huge fir. To this small fir to the left of it. So same thing, I'm gonna keep this hinge thick because this wood is dead. I mean, it's got a little bit of life in it there. It's not great, but I'm gonna keep the hinge a little thicker than normal because when I was cutting it up, I already saw it starting to move. So now I'm gonna just winch it all the way over through my gap. Just a few of those cranks and the tree's already moving hard. I wanna be nice and gentle with this, not just crank on it like crazy. It's going back and forth doing this number when I crank on it.
Right.
I don't like it that. I don't want it to do that. I want it to just come forward, not back and forth, because that tension break. I can see the tree next to it already starting to move because it's in the tree. There's our first pop.
Yeah.
Any second it's gonna go. Here it comes. Okay, so we got it hung up in the other tree, so I'm gonna pull on it some more. Probably still pull it through those limbs. Most likely what's going to happen is the top's going to break and then the major part of the tree is going to come through. Tree's on the ground. Let's go check it out. So we hit the gap here that I was going for right along the trail. Here's the bottom part of the tree. That's the top part of the tree. Yeah. Let's check out the hinge. Actually some pretty good holding wood, which is good, but I wasn't gonna risk it. I wanted to keep it thick because there's a fence right here I didn't want to hit. And like I said, we don't want to go in that way because of the neighbor's property. So that actually worked out really well right along the trail. Only the center had good holding wood. All the outside here was all brittle. This was all brittle. Really brittle wood here. But the center had a good little core in it. Still broke it off with the winch. And this is only rated to pull 1,500 pounds, so it doesn't take a whole lot. I just bore cut this 881, 500i, and 261. And I'm just gonna do a YouTube short on this showing with another saw that I have over here. The very first saw I bought when I started doing tree work. This little Works electric saw with a 10-inch bar on it. I think off Amazon for 100 or 200 bucks. But I'm gonna cut this tree down here, which will take all the 10-inch bar up. Using this saw to show that it's not the saws, it's the operator. It's probably at least 50 feet. Let's say at least 50 feet, maybe 60. So let's get it with this little thing. It's got oil in it. This is hilarious. That's so funny.
Perfect.
Amazon special. At least you got to see the making of, which is kind of fun. Here's the top, completely dead. Let's see what else we got on the radar today. I haven't seen anything else yet, so this is going to be a surprise to me. A lot of trees out here. Here's our next tree, another dead standing fir. Pretty tall. The top doesn't seem to be too intertwined, but it's got a little bit of a forward lean, so I'm gonna cut it up and see if I can get it to go through these trees right here. And if it gets stuck, I'll put some wedges in the back and try to force it over some more. Worst case, I'll cut through the entire hinge and I'll walk it down. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if it does, then you'll get to see how that works. See what we can do. Try to get this to go right through these trees right here and not hang up on anything. See if we can do it. I'm doing a really big face cut so that it really forces it over. It doesn't hang up at all. Again, I'm going here. That's perfect. I'm watching the saw that it lines up right here, this line to that line. So there it is. Ready?
Ready.
Perfect. And I kept cutting through that. There's no hinge there. I kept cutting as it started going over, so it would just fly right through it, and it did.
Huh? Well, at least that part's pretty solid.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Not that it was going to get any better, it was just going to keep decaying, but...
Right.
This is the next one. Let's take a look at it. Oh, you got to stand right under the tree and look up to decide, to figure out which way exactly it's leaning. This one, halfway up. Lately we've been standing in bees' nests in the ground, so I'm like, well, let me check the ground before I keep looking up. There's been a lot of bees this summer.
Yeah.
This one's got a slight lean in the same direction, but then the top sits back. I don't think that's going to matter. But it's kind of behind this tree next to it. And again, I have to get it to go through the limbs. So let me go to the front of the tree and take a look. I could bring it out this way between the four of these trees right here. Would that be all right if we brought it out here?
Yeah. That's no problem.
So here's the tree. There's one long limb coming off the tree to the left of it. it would be the tree's right when I'm underneath it, but I should be able to get it to come right through here. And again, it's gonna have to come with some speed to get past these limbs, but I think it's possible. Escape path, right back here. If I need to go anywhere, I got plenty of space there to do it. Okay, so I'm going to the left of this tree. So again there, a really good face cut, totally good. It's ready to go. Did you want to see this before I cut it?
Yeah.
Okay. The idea is to not overlap the top cut or the bottom cut. They need to basically meet like a V for the most part, and that way the tree doesn't do something unpredictable. All right, let's see if we can force it through these trees. Gotta line up this with this edge here. Gotta come right through here. You notice I look up because the tree's gonna move a lot sooner up there than it does down here, so I need to know what this is doing as I cut through it. It's already starting to move. I can't cut through this hinge, you gotta check back and forth. There it goes, perfect. Jeez, there's all kinds of stuff falling out of the tree, so we gotta wait for that to stop falling first and then go check out our work. That tree up there is still moving pretty good. Gotta watch out for stuff falling. Looks pretty good now. Wow, that was good. And it broke into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big pieces. A lot of stuff fell out of that tree too after that came down, so it's good to look out for that. Perfect. It's great. One last tree here is a smaller fir, leaning hard. This one's leaning hard out here. It's in the maple, so there's a really good chance it's going to hang up. So I might have to walk this one down. There's a good chance of that. So let's find out. Okay, let's see what it's gonna do. Hopefully it goes all the way through. Ready to go? Nope, it's gonna hang. Okay, so new scenario here. The tree's still on the hinge. I haven't cut all the way through it yet. So I'm gonna have to very carefully start cutting this up and walking it down. Alright, we're off the stump now. Now I gotta walk it down. There we go. It's gonna sit backwards, which is okay. We're out here in the sticks. So if I was around a house, that would not be okay, but I was not worried about it out here because there's nothing to wreck. So we just had to get the tree on the ground. Whew. All that spring tension from the limbs pushed it back the other way, along with that type of face cut. Wow, that was fun. It was a lot of fun. This should be a little bit longer video since I've got a lot of requests for it. So hopefully it's still entertaining. The shorter videos actually take a lot of time to edit to keep them high speed and, you know, the action packed. But as the stats show in my other videos, I'm only getting an audience retention for about 5 minutes. So that is not the right bar cover for this saw. Here I am, not paying attention. Started sharpening these chains with the Dremel. They make little Dremel chainsaw
really?
Stones. Yep. And I
was going to ask you how you sharpen.
I used to just hand file everything, and then you can use the Dremel little circular stone they make for chainsaw sharpening. If you keep your angles the same as you would if you were just sharpening it with a round file. Right. Works just as good, and it's fast. So I've been doing that now for probably the last 6 months, and it's awesome. And the little stones are only like 10 bucks. And I've been using the same stone for 6 months. This 881 is heavy. Honestly, I think it weighs probably, it feels like it weighs at least 40 pounds. With the bar on it and everything, it's pretty heavy. Full of gas. Definitely not the everyday use saw, but it's kind of fun to own. All right, team, here's a little bit longer video. You know, we cut down 6 trees, I believe, and broke out some of the saws just for fun. Did most of the felling with the 261. This is all you really need for most things, unless you're up here with like really big firs or something, big maples, big cottonwoods. I guess the other guys around the United States or around the world has, you know, they have big trees too, but for the most part, this 20-inch bar on a decent power saw is all you really need. Little winch action, little homeowner chainsaw, electric chainsaw action, you can do it with small saws too. This is just a 10-inch little bar. Yeah, it's kind of fun, kind of a nice little adventure, change of pace. You got to see the throw ball in action. That's a cool little neat tool. No wedging today, but you know, I was prepared. Didn't need to do it though. Please like and subscribe and turn your notification on. And YouTube will let you know the next time I post a video, which is often. See you later.